Welcome you all to the course Database Management System. Myself Mohammad Asafuddin Undal, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Navla Institute of Technology. This is lecture number 6 of that particular course. This lecture will cover relational model and relational algebra. These are the topics which I am going to cover during my lecture. First, I will discuss about relational data model. Then I will give an idea of relational algebra. Also, I will discuss about three relational algebra operation: select, project and union. So first I will discuss about the relational data model. Already I have discussed about the relational data model in my previous lecture, but again I am recapitulating what is relational data model. Is the one of the most important data model which is primarily used for commercial data processing application. Most of the commercial data processing application uses that kind of data model to represent the database. In relational data model, that entity represented with the help of relation or table, and a database in relational data model consists of collection of tables, and tables are known as relation also. That means relation and table in relational data model they are same. Now a particular relation or a particular table have a unique name, and all the table or the relation have multiple column, and each column is known as attribute or the property of that particular entity. And a relation have multiple row, and each row represents a particular record. And this is example of relation or table in relational data model. This is the table, and every table should have unique name. The name of this table is employee table, which have four attributes, means four column: ID, name, department name, salary, and it has set of records. Each individual record is also known as tuple. So each individual record is known as tuple. That means a relation contains set of records, or we may say that a relation contains set of tuples. The next is relational schema and instances. Means informal way how we can define a relational schema. Relational schema is nothing but a structure of a table or structure of a relation in relational database. Now a1, a2 an are the attributes. Means all the attributes are represented with the help of a1, a2, a3 an. It may have n numbers of attributes. For example, ID is an attribute, a2 may be name, a3 may be department, like that. Then how to write it in formal way: r is equal to a1, a2 an. So this is a relational schema in relational data model. For example, consider example: instructor equal to id, name, department, salary. So instructor data model has following attributes, and this is the schema of instructor. And all these things I have already discussed in my previous lecture. Now relational instance means the current value of a particular relation is known as instance, and as I have already mentioned that a relation contains multiple record, multiple row. Each row is known as tuple. The next thing is what should be the value of attribute value. This is already I have discussed in my previous lecture. The set of allowed value for each attribute is called domain of the attribute. So what is the domain of a particular attribute? The set of permissible value or the set of allowed value of a particular attribute is called domain of the attribute. That means, again, if you go back to the previous slide, if you consider what is the domain of attribute ID, this is the domain of ID. For example, let me draw it. So what is the domain of attribute ID? This is the domain of ID. So these value are the domain of the ID, and the value of or the domain of the ID should satisfy some types of constraint. For example, the value should be integer type in case of ID. Now what is the domain of attribute name? This is the domain. So domain means the set of permissible value should be string type. The next thing is that attribute values are normally required to be atomic. Atomic in the sense the value should not be divisible. For example, if there is an attribute, say address, then the value against the attribute address is not considered to be atomic in the sense value of address, it may be consist of multiple sub value. For example, we may have street, city, state, country, pin number. So address cannot be considered as an atomic value, so that kind of attribute cannot be included into our relation. So attribute value generally normally required to be atomic. Now there is a special value. Null value is a member of every domain. There may be a null value. Null value means the value is unknown, and the null value causes complication in the definition of many operations. Means while doing a different kind of operation, means data fetching operation or data updation operations, then if a null value exists in a domain of an attribute, then it causes complication of operation. The next topic is the relational algebra. Now before discussing the relational algebra, I should discuss about the classification of query language. Now query language can be classified into two categories. Now what is query language? Query language is basically a part of data manipulation language which involves information retrieval. Means by using the language we can retrieve the information from the database. This is known as query language. Now query language can be classified basically into two categories: procedural and non-procedural query language. Now what is procedural query language? It is a language where it requires a user to specify what data are needed and how to get those data. Means in that kind of language, user have to specify what data they are required to fetch, as well as they have to specify how they have to retrieve the data. That mechanism user have to specify. This is a procedural, and whereas non-procedural query language is a language where it requires a user to specify what data are needed without specifying how to get those data. That means in case of non-procedural language, user only have to mention what data he or she needs to fetch. No need to specify how to get those data. Now the example of procedural query language is relational algebra. So relational algebra is a procedural query language, whereas tuple relational calculus and domain relational calculus, these two correspond to the non-procedural query language. So again, relational algebra is a procedural query language example, and whereas tuple relational calculus and domain relational calculus, the example of non-procedural or declarative query language. And these above three languages are pure language, and in the sense pure language means you cannot execute this language in your machine. This is the basis of any application language. But in that lecture, in that chapter, we will only concentrate only relational algebra. The next thing is the relational algebra operation. Now any query language, as the what is relational algebra is a kind of query language, and specifically speaking, relational algebra is a procedural query language. Now that means with the help of relational algebra query language, we can fetch retrieve the information from the database, as well as we can manipulate the information in the database. That means the relational algebra have some kind of operation by which we can manipulate the database. Now, relational algebra operations, several operations are there, but these operations are broadly classified into two categories. One is the fundamental operation, the basic operation, and the other one is the extended operation. Now, select, project, union, set difference, Cartesian product, and rename. These operations belongs to the fundamental operations, whereas set, intersection, natural join, division, and assignment belongs to the extended operation. So as a whole, all these are the part of relational algebra operation by which we can manipulate the database. Manipulate the database means we can retrieve the information from the database, we can insert a new data in a database, we can delete an information from the database, as well as we can modify the stored information in a database. So the first operation of relational algebra is the select operation. Suppose this is the relation R. This is a schema. We have A, B, C, D, these four attributes, and these are the set of records or set of tuples stored in R. Suppose we need to fetch, or we need to retrieve, or we need to select only the records those satisfies a particular condition. For example, we need to fetch from relation R only those records. We need to fetch those records from relation R whose attribute value of A and B is alpha, or whose attribute value A and B are beta. That means from that relation we need to select only those tuples whose A and B both value are alpha, or A and B both value are beta. That means this one and this one should be selected. So how to select or how to fetch only that data based on the condition? With the help of select operation. So select operation selects tuple or select records that satisfies a given predicate. Predicate means condition. So select operation basically selects only those tuple among multiple tuple from a relation that satisfies a particular condition. For that we use for the selection operation, we use the lowercase Greek letter sigma to denote the selection operation, and that means select this symbol Greek letter sigma means it indicates that it's a selection operation. Now we have to select based on certain condition. We have to select the record, or we have to select the tuple based on condition. The condition is known as predicate, and the predicate appear as a subscript of sigma. So this is the example. So first we have to select sigma. Sigma is the symbol by which we can define that this is a selection operation. Then here you have to, within parentheses, you have to mention the name of the relation from where you want to fetch the data. Here I want to fetch the data from R, and as a subscript this is the condition. So as a subscript you have to define the condition. So this is the condition at the predicate P here. Now what is the condition? I have to select only those records from relation R whose value of A and B both either alpha or beta. So that is why this is the first condition. Let me mention that. So A and B is greater than equal to alpha. It should not be greater than, it should be equal to alpha. This is the OR symbol, or whose A and B value both are beta. So that means it will select only this record and this record. So this is how we get. That means again it will select from relation R where either A and B both value are alpha, or this is the OR symbol, or A and B both value are beta. That means as a predicate you can combine multiple conditions. Here this is the condition 1 and this is the condition 2, and these two conditions are connected with this connectives. So this is known as connectives. This is the symbol of OR. Now apart from OR, other connectives are AND, this is the AND, this is the OR, this is the NOT. So two different conditions can be united or connected with the help of these connectives. Here I have used equal to operation. Now apart from equal to operation, other comparison operator is equal to, not equal to, greater than equal to, less than, and less than equal to. Now take an example of selection operation. Suppose this is the loan relation or loan table. The query is select those tuple of the loan relation where branch is Perige. So we have to select only those records. So branch name is Perige. That means only these two records should be selected. So how to fetch them? How to write the query in relational algebra? So selection operation, that means it should be sigma operation. Then within bracket you have to mention the relation from where you want to fetch the record. Here loan is the relation, so within bracket you have to write the loan, and then this is the predicate. So this is the predicate you have to mention. Now what is the condition over here? Condition is that select only the relation or the tuple where the branch is Perige. So that means the branch name is equal to Perige. So select from loan where branch name attribute whose value equal to Perige. So that means it will select only this one and this one. So these two value will be selected. So again I am repeating, select from relation loan where, what is the condition, where branch name attribute value is equal to Perige. Take another query. Find those tuple pertaining to loan of more than $12,000, $1,200 made by Perige branch. So this is a loan relation. We have to select only those record where loan has more than amount of $1,200 which is borrowed in the Perige branch. So we have to select means we have to use the selection operation. So selection operation is denoted by sigma. So this is a sigma. Then we have to select it from where? From relation loan. So that is why you have to mention the name of the relation within the bracket, and then over here you have to write down the condition. Now this is condition 1. What is the first condition? Loan should be made by at Perige branch. So this is where, so the condition is branch name equal Perige. So this is the condition 1, and another condition is amount should be more than $1,200. So this is condition 2. So we have to select only those records from loan based on these two conditions. So select only those records whose loan amount is greater than $1,200 as well as the branch name is Perige. So they are connected. This condition C1 and condition C2 are connected with the help of AND operation. This is the AND symbol, and AND means if both the condition is satisfied, then only it will select a particular record. So how to read that statement? Select from loan where branch name equal to Perige and amount is greater than 1,200. So based on that query we will get the resultant relation. So it selects that particular relation based on the above query. So based on the query, based on our requirement, we may add as many conditions as we require with the help of these connectives and or not. And here the operator, comparison operator, it may be equal to, not equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal to, whatever we require as per our requirement. The next operation is projection operation. It is also a fundamental operation as well as it is also a unary operation. Unary operation means the projection operation is performed on a single relation and then it returns its argument relation with certain attribute left out. Suppose this is the relation given relation R with ABC attributes and set of value. Suppose we require to print only the value against attribute A and C. We need to left out the attribute B. Means we need to left out attribute B. We require only to print all the value against attribute A and attribute C. We need to left out attribute B. So how to do that? With the help of projection operation, and projection operation is denoted by uppercase Greek letter pi, and as a subscript of pi we need to mention the list of attribute that we wish to appear in the result. So how to write pi operation? Then within bracket you have to mention name of the relation on which you want to perform projection. That means project pi r means you want to perform the projection operation on the relation R. Then I am mentioning as a subscript the list of attribute the list of attribute which we want to print, which we want to get. I want to get only attribute A and C, so I have mentioned A comma C. So that is how we are projecting the main relation R. So once you execute or once you write the command pi A comma CR, we will get the relation. Means projection operation performed on R and fetching the A and C attributes. So A and C is getting and B is omitted. And another point is that the value are alpha 1, beta 1, beta 2 all are there. Now since relation is a set, duplicate rows are eliminated. So after projection operation we get another relation with modified schema. What is the modified schema? Here B attribute is not there, but it should not contain the duplicate row. That is why alpha 1 is repeated, so alpha 1 record is deleted, so it should contain only 1. Then beta 1, beta 2 are not redundant. So this is the ultimate relation we will get after this operation. Now this is the example of projection operation. Suppose this is the loan relation with 3 attribute: loan number, branch name, amount. Suppose we have to print or list down all the loan numbers and their corresponding amount, but no need to require the branch name. That means we have to omit some attributes. We have to include only the required attributes. So that means projection operation is required. So pi is here. Then within bracket the relation name from where you want to perform the operation. Here loan is the relation, and we just require the loan number and the amount. So that is why I have mentioned loan number comma amount. So after performing the operation, projection operation, we will get the resultant relation with loan number attribute and the amount attribute, and the existing data set will be remain same. So branch name is omitted. The next is the combination of selection and projection operation. Already we have done with the selection operation and projection operation. Now how to use the combination of selection and projection, both the operation, to fetch our required record. Suppose this is the customer relation, customer table. We need to find those customers who lives in Harrison. That means we have to print or we have to display or we have to fetch only the customer name who lives in Harrison city. So that means two operations we have to perform. First we have to select the tuple or select the rows who lives in Harrison. That means we have to select. That means selection operation will be there. So that is why I have used sigma is for selection operation. Within bracket I want to perform the selection operation on relation customer. Customer is the relation, so within bracket I have to rewrite the customer relation. So it will select from customer relation based on the condition customer city equal to Harrison. That means once we write down that particular query, select from customer where customer city equal to Harrison, it will select only those record those lives in Harrison. So only this will be selected, his main Harrison, and another one is Jones main Harrison. So on executing that relational algebra query, this selects only these two records out of multiple records. But still that query have select the two records, but it has three attributes: customer name, customer state, customer city. But as per our query, we need to print only customers, means we need to print only customer name. So we have to omit customer street and customer city. Only you have to print customer name. You have to exclude customer street and customer city. So for that you have to perform the projection operation. So is the pi operation, pi projection. And as a subscript you have to mention the list of attribute which we want to get. Here I want to get only customer name, so that is why I've written customer name. So on executing that particular query, we'll get these two record, and after executing pi customer name we'll be able to get only these two, Hayes and Jones. So what will be the output? So after executing the total query, we'll get a modified relation, and the scheme of that relation is only one attribute. Attribute is customer name, and domain consists of two values. One is Hayes, one is Jones. The next operation is union operation. Now union operation is also a fundamental operation, but it is not a unary operation, it's a binary operation, because that operation is performed on more than one relation. Now it is denoted by this symbol union, as in set theory. Suppose this is the relation R, this is the relation S, both have same number of attributes and domain are same data type. So if you perform union among these two relations R and S, so R union S, so what we will get? We will get the combined relation of R and S. So it should have A and B attribute. It should contain all the entries from A as well as all the entries from B. So alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 1 is from relation R, alpha 2 is present in both the relations, so which will appear only once in the final result. Beta 1 is from relation R and beta 3 is from relation S. So if a particular entity appears in both the relation, it will appear only once. So union means it will combine all the records from both the relation set. And this is an example of union operation. Suppose we need to find the name of all bank customers who have either an account or loan or both. That means we need to find or display all the customer who have either an account or loan or both. So first you have to decide from which relation you have to execute the query. We have customer relation, already we have seen in our previous slide. So from the customer relation, you go back, customer relation, you cannot fetch the desired result, because if you go back to the previous slide, customer relation, this is the customer relation, but it contains customer name, customer state and customer city, but that relation does not contain whether a particular customer has an account or whether a particular customer has a loan. So from this customer relation you cannot fetch the data for our that specific query. Apart from customer data, we have two more relation. One is depositor, which have customer name and account number, that and as well as another relation, borrower, which has customer name and loan number attributes. So from depositor and borrower relation, we can easily get which customer has account and which customer has a loan. So for that specific query, we have to access these two relations, and what we have to display, what we have to fetch, the customer name. So if you perform the customer pi operation or the projection operation, let me figure it out. If you perform the projection operation on the relation borrower and customer name, so what it will select, it will select only that portion. So this is select only that portion, and if you execute this part, projection operation, you are executing on depositor relation and customer name. So on executing that command, it will select only this part. That means the first part, pi customer name borrower, means it will create in that particular query, create a relation. This is a relation which have an attribute customer name and set of records. So these are the customer who has a loan, and on executing this query, pi customer name depositor is this another query. So this will produce another relation, temporary relation, which have a single attribute customer name with the set of following data, and this customer represents are those customer who have an account. So now if you combine these two customer, these are the, then what you will get, you will get the customer who have either an account or loan or both. So for that you have to combine these two relation. You have to combine the relation, this relation, as well as you have to combine this relation, then only you can get the customer who have either loan or account or both. So how to combine? With the help of union operation. So after that, after executing the total query, we will get the final relation. Now what is the schema of the relation? It should have only one attribute customer name, and what should be the value? The combined value from both the relation. And if a particular record appears in both the relation, then it will appear only once in the final relation, because duplicate value will be eliminated. For example, Smith has a account as well as Smith has a two loan, but here in the resultant relation Smith appears only once, so duplicate value will be eliminated. And another important point about the union operation, which is represented by R union S, where R is a relation, S is a relation, and this is the union symbol. So R union S operation is to be valid if it satisfies following two conditions. First, the relation R and S must be of same entity. That means both the relation should have same number of attributes. If relation R has a 2 attribute and relation S has a 3 attribute, then you cannot perform R union S. So both the relations should have same number of attributes. And the second is domain of ith attribute of R and domain of ith attribute of S must be same for all I. That means the domain of specific attribute of R and domain of that particular attribute in S must be of same type. If, for example, if you go back to the previous slide, suppose if the domain of A, and here the domain of A in R and domain of A in S are of different types. Suppose this A is of integer type and this A is of string type, then also R union S cannot be performed. So if these two following conditions holds, then only you can do the R union S operation. And these are the references. First one, database management system concept, Silversky, Court. You may go through this book for more details about this chapter. And in my next lecture, I will discuss about the other fundamental operations like Cartesian product, rename, as well as other extended operation, natural join, division. All these things I will cover in my next lecture. That's it for today.